So for a short moment, just take a few deep breathings, and just release all the still breaths. Everything you're holding, contracting your body, just relax. Just release the tensions. Just take a few deep breathings. Now you draw your attention inward in your life. Just be conscious, be aware all the situations, all the particular discomfort that you are facing this time in your life. Allow them, see them, feel them. Either it's a physical pain, physical discomfort, the blockages in your body, or the disturbances is coming from inner voices, all this chattering, inner discussions, the voices of the ego. Or it's just simply a mind obscure with doubts and confusions. So we will draw a close attention, either it's related to the body or inner voice, or related to your mind. Whatever is most dominating, if it's the body is most dominating, or the voice is most dominating, the mind is most dominating, just choose one this moment. First, let's pay close attention to the body. Feel that discomfort and pain. Allow it and just go closer and closer and closer with complete openness. Without judging it, without analyzing it. Let's go closer, closer, right in the center of that pain or discomfort. And just feel this deep stillness. Just go closer and closer to that physical discomfort, pain, in the center of that pain, and feel this deep sense of stillness. If it's not happening first time, just gradually allow and try second time. But completely be open. If you just feel a block in a particular areas of your body or particular areas of your chakra, then do the same. Feel it, be open to it, go closer, closer, and go right in the center of that blockages. And feel this deep sense of stillness. Again, if it's not happening first time, continuously try with openness until you feel that stillness in the middle of that pain, in the middle of that blockages. Also be aware and feel a support from all over the world. This very moment we are all practicing together. Feel that connection and support. So those you feel very much your pain, or you're having difficult conditions, situations related with your body, you continuously do that right this moment. Go closer, go right in the center of that pain and blockages. Feel that stillness and go deeper until you will feel that awareness of that stillness is actually healing, cleansing, unblocking those blockages. You will feel it. You will feel the pain is minimizing. The pain is dissipating. So you continue. Second, those you feel your disturbances in you, it's more like these inner voices. The obstacle is the speech, the inner voice. Like one side, you know everything is fine, the voice says it is not. The voice has the reason after reason. And that voice is one's problem. Those you feel that, rather than rejecting that voice or elaborating that voice, simply be open to it and feel that openness in you toward that voice. Feel closer, go closer to that voice and listen the silence within that voice. Not get caught up with the contents of that voice. Feel, connect with the source of that voice, where you hear the silence. If you don't hear the silence, be open to that voice, go closer and closer and listen to that silence again. Try again and again until you feel the silence in that voice. The moment you hear the silence, those voices of pain or the pain speech will dissolve by itself. So continuously try to go closer and hear that silence, particularly those you feel you're disturbed so much with those inner voices. So you continue that. Third, those you feel your disturbances is more related with your mind, with your thought, obsessive thought, irrational thoughts, just randomly arising thoughts, emotions which has some more reasons, emotions which has no reasons, but they are so active in you, it obscures whole entire your being. You are not able to see yourselves or light within you. If that is what you are experiencing right this moment, be aware of that. Be open to that. Have a different relationship to that. You have disliked, you have rejected, you have complaints, but here you just simply do opposite. You're just trying to be open and see it, feel those thoughts and emotions. That openness is very powerful. Allow yourself to experience the power of that openness. See those thoughts, feel those emotions, go closer, closer. Just feel that spaciousness around and within those thoughts and emotions. There's just a space. Feel and be aware of those space around and within those emotions and thoughts. As you try, if you don't feel it first time, try again. Try again until you feel that spaciousness. The moment you will feel the spaciousness in those emotions and thoughts, those emotions and thoughts liberates by themselves. They just dissolve. They don't have a power and a strength to sustain themselves, because ego is no longer feeding them. As ego is no longer feeding them, ego cannot sustain itself either. You are left with this pure space in your mind, with this pure luminous awareness. You just feel a deep space experience. You are aware of that spaciousness. So the moment you feel that spaciousness, your mind feels free. It's free from those thoughts and emotions, and it's free from the ego. So those you feel most or the strongest dominating emotion or thoughts which becoming an obstacle to you, then you do this approach. So as we guided 3 different practices or 3 different doors, to arrive in oneself, to realize oneself, 3 doors because 3 conditions. 3 conditions, it's whatever reason we are experiencing those conditions, most dominating conditions in our life, this moment in our life. Those are becoming a pain for us. We are turning those pain into a path to a liberation, path to find oneself or self-realization. Either entering through your body, the pain of your body, or the pain of your voices, the pain of your mind. Another way to say that will be trying to enter in oneself, the self-realization, through the pain body, pain speech, or pain mind. You're not trying to find something or choose something. It has chosen you already. You're just simply trying to be aware of that door which is right now with you. So for a moment, whatever level which makes most sense, to contemplate on that continuously. Okay. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the practice we just did. So basically there's a twofold in this approach, in this practice. Very simple. One is, as I said, it's not we're trying to choose a pain to find oneself. Probably in many cases that the pain has chosen us. Either it is body related, physical related, or it is like speech related, that means like inner voices, or it is related with our mind, like such as like ignorance, doubt, emotions, thoughts. So any given moment in our life, you can see one of these specific aspect, either body, speech, or mind, becoming some kind of obstacle. Therefore, in those moments, it's very important to recognize that, what it is, rather than just simply saying, oh, I am facing a challenge in my life. But what challenge? So more you know clearly what kind of challenge it is, more you can recognize the doorway. If you have lost in the city, if you know which part of the city you have lost, more likely you're going to find the direction back, rather than just simply saying, I have lost. So same way, so if you look at this practice, that first to recognize that, let's start with the body. The physical pain, the body can be understood two ways. One is the physical body, the pain, sickness in our own body. Second will be the ego, the identity. People say identity crisis. So identity crisis is also an aspect of the body, but that part I will not touch this moment. I will just go to more like a physical form. So if you are feeling some sickness, pain in your body, just look at your relation to that pain. Probably in some cases you are becoming a more painful for that pain than the pain is for you. Because you are saying, you're judging yourself, saying, why me? And there's just all this rational thing and discussions, not accepting, not looking the positive side of the situation. You can see probably you're caught up with a lot of stories around it. So all those judgment stories, relation to that pain, is like giving a hard time to that pain. So what I'm saying here, have a compassion to that pain, to care about that pain. And how you would care? I'll give this example of the other day when we talked about the other webcast teaching. We'll talk about pain turning into the path. Give quite a bit of example of that. I'm repeating that same example. That if you're trying to have a support by somebody, a family member, how you would feel that you are supported by that family member is when this family member doesn't judge you about some mistakes that you have done. That family member does not put conditions on you. The family member is simply respectful, open, and there with you 100%. And then you feel you are very supported by that family member. But if the family member is judging you, very critical of you, putting conditions on you, and kind of be there, but it's not still there, you know, the body is there, the spirit is not there, it's agitated, it's more fearful than you are, then you don't feel that you have been supported by that person. Same way, if you do exactly what we do exactly the same thing with our pain. If you look with your physical pain, if you look that your like inner voices, if you look with that your inner doubt or confusion or emotional pains, you don't care about that pain that much. You judge, you are agitated, you are restless. So we do exactly that person does to us. So here what we're saying, first, to care about that pain. And the best way to care is just be completely open, accept, feel grounded. And so when you're open and grounded, the response from that pain is completely different. It heals. It feels that care, it feels that openness, it feels that compassion. I don't know, as we just did a little short practice before, how you felt when you were completely open to that pain. How do you feel? Probably very likely your pain in your body has minimized. Not only it has minimized, but maybe it began to heal. The voices in your head became silence. Not only it became silence, you begin to hear that silence inside yourself. You begin to hear some messages, some wisdom messages. When you're open and clear to your thoughts and emotion, they begin to dissipate. They begin to dissolve. You feel that spaciousness in yourself. Not only you feel the spaciousness in yourself, but you see a glimpse of creative images, positive thoughts, positive feelings, positive emotions. They are arising because you are giving a space to them to arise. So the open approach to your pain of your body, pain of your speech, pain of your mind, is not only it heals, it's not only that the pain dissolves, but you discover so much more quality from that stillness, from that silence, and from that spaciousness. All the qualities of your body, the well-being of your body, all the knowledges from that silence arises. All the wisdoms that arises from that spaciousness. So that is the part here. It's simply like two aspects. One, to heal, and second, to perfect. So the healing part is to be very open to these pains. A perfecting part is to become familiar with that openness once you feel that. For example, feeling familiar with that stillness. It's a whole another work. First, there's no stillness. Then you find the stillness. So becoming familiar with that stillness is another important part of the practice. Very often when people, in the process of healing, when people heal some emotions and pains, when that pain disappears, they think now they have completely healed. And then they stop working on that. That is a mistake. In a way, the real work of development begins then. Because before, there's nothing to develop, nothing to grow, there's no space to grow. So what you are doing, you're simply clearing to find that space. That is half part of the progress. The second part is to become familiar with that space. I've been using this word, pills. So a doctor prescribes a patient a pill, and we know very well what that means. We all take pills. So here you take 3 pills. So minimum 3 pills a day. Maximum, there is no maximum. You can be 24 hours in that stillness and silence and that spaciousness. So remember, take 3 pills a day, and these 3 pills means a pill of body, means stillness, a pill of speech, silence, the pill of mind, the spaciousness. So the pill of the body is the white, or pill of A. Pill of speech is red, or pill of Om. Pill of mind is blue, pill of Hung. So you have white pill, red pill, and blue pill. So you take 1 of each every day. When to take? When it tells you to take. When there's a lot of movement and movement is disturbing your stillness, that is the moment to take the pill of stillness. When there's too much voices outside or inside that interfering that silence, you take the pill of silence, the red. When there is too much emotions and thoughts and it's disturbing your flow, your inner being, then you take the pill of mind, the blue pill. So these 3 pills is just kind of image, so I think it's very important to look at that as a pill that the pills that we take, we do take, we're not trying to forget, trying to not forget, and we take that pill, make sure we take that pill. So same way, I think it would be good that we can look at these situations in our life that I will take these 3 pills. So it's a question about how frequently you will remember to do that. That will be the most important. As more frequently you will take, the easier that you will experience. It says in the teaching, it says, "Qi nam do xi, jie sal yi xie sao." There's a quotation from Dzogchen teaching. It says, less the thought becomes, the clearer the wisdom arises. The less thought becomes, the clearer wisdom arises. Less that ego movement, there's more stillness will arise. Less there's inner voices, voice of ego, that more you will hear that silence. The less of ego thoughts, ego emotions, the more you will see that inner spaciousness in yourself. But that requires attention and awareness on everyday life.
Talking of speech and the thought of mind,
Yeah, so, the voice, when we are talking with our voice, we are verbalizing it, vocalizing it, but before we vocalize it, there is like almost like there's a voice inside our head. And before these active kind of voices inside our head, they are more like a patterns of thought, maybe very subtle. So some level they are just like a mind which obscures our awareness, and another level which takes its more energetical presence, more like a more stronger presence as a voice inside our head. That is more like a kind of, just before it become a speech, there is a voice there. Those are like a kind of very noisy. You sometimes you see people mumbling. You know, you people driving, you can see they're talking to themselves. You know, you can almost see they're already, the voice is coming out. Or sometimes they shake their head and doing something strange things. It means they're talking in themselves. Other time they don't shake their head. It's more like it's their mind. So I think there's a different stages of the development of voices, you know.
Another question, how can I know when the intellect is responding rather than the voice of wisdom? How can you tell when you're in the right place? How do you know if it's the intellect that's responding to this practice, or how do you know when it's a wisdom that's responding?
Well, question about how intellect responding or the wisdom is responding. Well, and when intellect responds, you can see clearly there is a thought, a structure of thought there. When the wisdom is responding, there is no thought there, it is a pure awareness there. And of course, in these in the early stage of the practices, we're not saying that every thought is bad, not useful. We're not saying that, because we can use thought rather than possessed by thought. We can guide thought rather than thought can drive you. So it's most of the time, you know very well, when you can use thought, you can guide your thought, and you can be very creative, productive, and helpful. And we also know when we are obsessed with our thought, or thought possess us, you know you end up doing things you hate to do, but the obsessive thought is driving you to do what you hate to do. Yeah.
There's another question offered. It says, can we get the experience of spaciousness? It sounds like the question is, can we get the experience of spaciousness through the blessings, through receiving blessings?
So the question is, can we receive the experiences of spaciousness through the blessing? Absolutely, absolutely. But the question about who receives the blessings, who does not. So even to receive the blessing, you have to have a quality to receive the blessing. Not everybody is capable of receiving that. Some people even don't believe in blessings. Some people, maybe they believe they are not open enough to receive blessings. So sometimes the places where there is strong sense of devotion, openness through the devotion, like a refuge, for sure those are very, very powerful doors for many people. So when that does not become the door for somebody, then you have to find another ways. But of course, sure.
Here's another question. Somebody asked, can this practice be done anywhere, anytime, at work, at home, in the car?
Okay, the questions are getting more interesting questions here. So the question is, can you do these practices anywhere? So the answer is yes, of course. Wherever you can go crazy, in that place, it's a good place to do the practice. You know. So do we ask, where do I go crazy? Where do I have emotions? Is it the right place to have a lot of emotions? Or is it the right place to have a lot of thoughts? Is it a right place to have a physical pain? No. So I mean, whenever they come, they come. So of course, this practice can be done anywhere. And when I talk about the pill, white pill, red pill, blue pill, and I recommend to eat those pills, work with those pills, particularly when you need them. And you need to be aware of that when you need them. Of course, when you having a lot of emotional crisis or something like that, of course, that very moment you need to know you can go right into the place of that spaciousness. So you eat that pill there. So applying the practices of 3 pills informally more than the formally, because the formally we just did a half an hour practice, that is the formal practice, we do experience these 3 pills. But in formal situations, we don't experience them. So I recommend to apply these 3 pills in formal situations, like in work, in your relationship, and so on.
When you brought up the red and the white and the blue, there was a question about why the colors and how they bring these colors into their practice. There's a lack of understanding.
Well, I mean, the question about why these 3 colors related with 3 pills, so I will not go into that so much right now. The reason why I'm saying these pills is because assuming most of people know already, so probably that was not right to assume that. So usually we say receiving empowerment of the body, speech and mind. Body, A, Om, Hung. A is white, Om is red, blue is Hung. And if you want to know a little bit more familiar with that, then if you can read the book of Warrior Seed Syllable Practice, a Tibetan sound healing book, and that first 3 syllables are white, red and blue. Means stillness, silence and spaciousness, body, speech and mind. So that's why I refer as the 3 pills, colors.
This question, if space is our true nature, I think you might have answered this before in the last one. If space is our true nature, how did the ego first appear?
If the space is our true nature, how does the ego first appear? If you don't know its true nature, that's why you give the birth to ego. If you know it, ego does not appear. If you don't know it, it appears.
Someone says, when meditating, sometimes my body seems to dissolve, and that leaves me a little confused sometimes.
Okay. Well, I mean, the question is, when I'm meditating, my body dissolves, and sometimes it's a little confusing, right? Yeah, that happens. So when you're meditating deep, normally if you feel the dissolution of your body, I mean, in some sense, the pain dissolves when you're deeply practicing with awareness with your pain. And reason why pain dissolves, maybe the same experience. The body dissolves. If the body is not there, then there's no pain we experiencing in that body. So same way, the ego dissolves. It's a little confusing. So when during this deep meditation, when you wake up, just give a little time to yourself to just slowly wake up, not immediately trying to do things. So just giving a little time after deep meditation is always helpful.
I guess that's really all the pertinent questions for right now.
Okay.
Here's one. It says, from Toro Dragon, it says, can these practices help to end a medical treatment for anxiety? Can these be good for anxiety?
So the question is, will these practices help to...
We say to take the place of medical treatment for anxiety.
So can one take this practice as a place of medicine for anxiety? Well, I mean, that's a complicated question, and it's not a very easy question to answer. I think different people might have different opinions about it. So I think the best person to make a decision is probably oneself, by looking at one's own the experiences of realization. So generally speaking, for sure, like this practice, awareness will help minimize pain in the body, heal the sickness, clear the confusion, heal emotion blockages, minimize obsessing thoughts, able to give some much more better ways of handling these thoughts or emotions. There is no question about it. And even so, you can in a short sessions of practice, you can feel a glimpse of a proof of that. You know, people are practicing and then just being free from the pain that they have 20 years in their body. Certain blockages that they have in their mind for years and years, with the practice of awareness, just instantly dissolving them. And it happens all the time. And can it happen to you? It depends upon your own level of openness and the practice. It says one medicine for uncountable diseases. So this is awareness is the one medicine for all the diseases. Yeah.
Says question. It says if that ego question, the question of dissolving the ego, is so simple, how can the formations, the skandhas, endure? They just don't seem to dissolve instantaneously. I mean, you're saying it's so simple, but they seem to endure.
Yeah. Well, let's say this way, you know, during practices, we feel, we experience that how powerful it is, the practice, the stillness, the silence, the spaciousness, either practice through one's body, speech and mind. We can feel how it dissolves in everything. But that is not what everyday life we are used to it. So in everyday life we are so much conditioned by our everyday situations, patterns, the addictions. So to turn over everything, it takes time. It requires time. But time is not so much how long the awareness. Time is more like it takes more time because of your own understanding, trust, trying, and experience of that stillness and silence. It's not how the stillness can dissolve that pain, or that awareness can dissolve that pain. No, awareness can dissolve pain right away, but your understanding of awareness requires more time. You know, for example, if there's a darkness in a room, and you are so messy in your room, you don't know where the match is, and you don't know where the candle is, you don't know even you have one. So you are in a big messy room, totally dark, and not even know you have a candle or match. And how long time is going to take? it's going to take probably a long time to remember that, oh, I think I have one match. I think I have one leftover candle somewhere. Probably take time to find out that. Then, after you find out, to search for that candle and match in that dark room, it's going to take some time. Let's say finally you found that. You found the match and found the candle and you light. How long time is it going to take the light to, the candle to bring the light in the dark room? How long time is it going to take? Second. Candle, the light is not able to distinguish. The darkness is history. Light is not interested in history. The ego is interested in history. When it happened, how it happened, who was the problem? Let's talk with that person. Ego is interested in history, talking, process. Ego wanted to take. Why ego is interested in history? Because ego wants to take it a long time. Ego wanted you to hold on for a long time. There's a good conversation, interesting topic to discuss. But the light does not distinguish those. It just only knows to clear it. So the same way, it's not so much that when you're aware how long a time is going to take to clear your ignorance. It's more this finding that candle and the match might take some time. Okay, so I think we are ending our internet teaching. Any announcement or anything like that?
Announcement. Let's see if there's any question here. Oh, this is a good question. It says, Rinpoche, at a certain time in our life, we give birth to the ego. And then when we stop identifying with the ego, does it still have any positive side for us?
So basically, does ego has some positive side? For sure ego has some positive side. It's like a thought. Does the thought have some positive side? Thought have positive side. So it's just basically use thought, not used by the thought. Guide your thought, not thought guides you. Same way, emotions can be beautiful feelings, but when one is trapped into them, one becomes prisoner of them. So yeah, thought. Thought can be good as long as you have it. Let's say if you one day you don't have a thought, you become Buddha and you don't have a thought. So Buddha is not supposed to have any thoughts. So you don't have any thought. So the question is, should you have one thought? No. So sometimes it's like the same thing like people who don't have confusion. What do you think? Do you think they're missing something? You don't go to say them, well, everybody has some confusion. I think you don't have enough, but you should really have some. So we are more balanced with other people. Is that right fair statement? No. If somebody does not have, good, they don't have it. If somebody do have, they got to work with it. So if you don't have it, then you don't miss it. If you do have it, use it well. Okay?
Well, I've got to find out when the next internet teaching is. It's in June.
Is it
and then we also have the internet workshop.
Okay. So June, when is June?